On that CT side until they hit 15, dropped a couple, and then got it done. Now we move on to Dust2, the pick of one win. They will start off on that T side. And Nemiga, well, if they can tap into that CT performance, you never know how this one's going to go.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of our predictions, they're already out the window. Both of us taking the 2-0 for one win. And of course, as you mentioned, it was looking so good at the start, wasn't it, on Vertigo?
It was.
But towards the end, Nemiga turned it around, and Dust2, needless to say, it's not the most consistent map for any team. So I'd say the only thing we're guaranteed here is some carnage. And looking at the mid pushing, Nemiga seems to be on the same cards.
What is going on here? This is going to be an absolute bloodbath, honestly. Chill getting taken down pretty low early on. Idis balance towards the back end. We'll find Deco glowing, flanking him out. Lots of damage coming in. It's Travis that finds the kill through the smoke. There's a lot of assistance, of course. And now we're in a 4 versus 2. I mean, it looked like positionally they were doing okay there on the Nemiga side of things. Unfortunately, they just cannot land the shots, apparently. So, Jo, the only one left. On the bomb at the moment, up towards short. So he does have that going for him. Hidden away, pops up, and down he will go. Absolute whack-a-mole style there from Travis. As one win will get a very easy pistol. But like I say, it looked like, you know, they were ready for that B crunch and everything, rushing up middle. It's just the Glocks coming out on top.
Yeah, I think one win actually reacted really well to the mid push. They saw the players pushing up. They had a few flashbangs, so they flashed over the top of mid, kind of in the open, and did a really good job, actually, of crunching on those players. So carnage, indeed, was ensued in the mid at the start. Love to see it, and of course, force by coming out from Nemiga. Scout and play for Idis balance. We'll see where he chooses to play in the end. Is actually, look at Belchonok over there. Look at this push. He's already in T-spawn.
Yeah. Are we getting a stop? Maybe? I'm not sure. I think, are they trying? Because it does look like Flamey is just not moving at all. He's not looking around. Okay. So it looks like, indeed, we are going to get a stop here. Chili will get some frags, get warmed up. But, well, I don't know. Did they get the stop or what? Like, we'll see what happens with this round. It looks like they're kind of playing it as though it is indeed a full-on round. They'll win it flawlessly. Not sure what's going to happen here. We'll have a tech pause, obviously, but don't rightly know what has gone down there, whether they got it in, whether they just didn't react. Bit weird. So we might be here for a few minutes, unfortunately.
I was looking forward to that flank so much, building it up, and then it looks like we have had a stop. Of course, we'll wait to hear some confirmation. Needless to say that the probably the admins are involved at the moment sorting this one out, but yeah, I don't really know where to go from this because, of course, the narrative is going to switch dramatically with whether that round actually counted or not towards the end. So, yeah, I guess one way to look at this second map is that, of course, one win they're comfortable in Dust2. They like to play it, but as I mentioned, nobody's consistent on Dust2 at the moment, especially on the T side.
Very strange. We'll try and update you as we can, but I think we might unfortunately just have to wait and see how the game kind of pans out at this point. So certainly a curious one. I mean, if it does stand, it will be absolutely massive, yeah. So Nemiga might be trying to gun for it in a way. I don't know what's happened, to be honest with you. They definitely, I don't think it's all that complicated to call for a stop, is it, usually? And the SEA servers are pretty quick with them, so don't know. I bet our guys, the admins, are having a little bit of trouble here. But I guess it's fill time. It's kind of the worst time for it, right at the start of the game. Not an awful lot's happened, you know. Clean pistol, the rush up middle, for those of you that maybe didn't see it, went south. Okay. Okay. So, good and bad news, folks. Round 2 is going to be replayed, so we're all good, you know, from an integrity point of view. No arguments or whatever. That's cool. Looks like Mr. Flamey is back as well. However, we don't quite have an ETA as yet. So we might be here for a little while. Just a few minutes, I would hope. I think it looks like Flamey's now dipped, so maybe reconnecting and all that kind of stuff at this point in time. I don't know. Yeah. What are you thinking, Alan? What are you thinking? They're going to go for something similar? Because it feels like that push in was pretty effective, to be honest, even if they are watching for it. It was a nice move for sure.
Yeah, that's the only question in my mind is, will Belchonok go for the B tunnels push into the super flank again? And I can't wait for that one to be answered. But as you mentioned, hopefully, as we're hearing, the restart, the match medic back before the previous round started will come in soon enough, because came off a very kind of action-packed Vertigo, especially towards the end. We don't want to be waiting around too long. Well, I guess on the one hand, for one win, is there not an argument here that it benefits them having a bit of a pause to take more time to reflect and kind of calm down, considering the fashion of how Vertigo went away from them?
I mean, it's kind of a difficult question to answer. I think certainly, you know, a moment like this, the kind of lull we always talk about, whether it's early or late in the game, it can just make things very difficult, I think, to get started again. You have to stay in the mindset. Tech pauses that are extended with no real ETA, especially, I suppose it's one of the things of, you know, playing online, you don't have as much information. I feel like if there's one at a LAN, it's a bit easier for people to go, okay, this is what the problem is, this is how long it'll take, go, you know. But when it's online, it's just kind of, oh yeah, Flamey's disconnected, so dunno, lads, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a bit of a weird one. Has he fully lost it connection wise? Is it just a bit of a restart, bit of a dropout? I get those sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure we all do. Blue screen, you know, difficult to tell. Okay, all right, so sounds like we've got about another minute or so, and then hopefully she'll be back into the action. So there you are. We're given an ETA, we're given a time. That's always useful, and makes our job a little easier, because we can start to set things back up. So I don't know that they'll go for exactly the same. It would be nice to see, I don't know, is Flamey, he wasn't really towards the B side of things, so it still looked relatively vulnerable, and it's kind of hard for the likes of OneWin to read into that, I think, and fully understand what was going on, because of course their focus is in other places during a round like that. So we'll see. Does the force buy change up in any way? Will we see the numerous scouts again? Time will tell. I think we should be getting our resets in a moment. So it is, by the way, as you can probably tell by the econ, 1-0, the HUD is just taking a second. It'll take a round to catch up. That's usually how it works, just because of, you know, the communication with the servers and whatnot. So we are looking down round number 2. Bear with us here for a moment. Nade damage coming in, though, of course. It's going to be a long attack from OneWin. Nice finds. Will be boxed to get one in all the chaos, but they've got the man advantage off this initial attack.
Pair of headshots for Travis, looking good on the entries, decapitating those CT players. And of course, with just the deals in play and lacking in utility, it is so hard to fight for that long control. And they actually did a lot of damage with their HE nades, but ultimately, it's not going to slow down the entire terrorist side. Long control in the hands of OneWin. Nemiga just the deagle still. No utility. It's going to be near impossible to get anything done from here.
Yeah, really difficult spot to be in for sure. Player hidden away towards the car. I think they are somewhat aware of it, but can't really drive him out. Trying to find the right angle on the spam, and they have just about. He's still alive. Will go down eventually. Chili falls all onto Jo. Does find a nice one with the deagle, but he's got a bit more to go. And of course, the scope of Deco will take him down. So we get a bit of damage, but they're not able to pull it off. OneWin, I think, will be thankful in a way for a longer pause. It does just, yes, indeed, take some of the momentum away from a crazy pistol, but it will also mellow things out. I think that's what you were kind of touching on, and get them in the right mindset to deal with an anti-force buy like that. So really well done. And now we'll see them probably pick up a third. Double nades once again will make their way in towards long. A Zeus in play. That's about it, really. So OneWin should be all good, especially because they are not towards long this time.
Glowing, enjoying himself, Mac 10 in hand. Pushing up aggressively. Finds a second. Flamey chimes in as well. Falling apart here. No surprises for that CT side. Very little investment, but On the flip side, 5 alive, plenty of money in the bank for 1 win. Looking good here so far on the T side. But now the guns are out. This is what we're here for. What do Nemiga have in store for us?
Double AWPs from the get-go. That's what they've got. I like it. Oh, nice find from Deco. Of course, you know, prior to... I'll hold the point because we're getting a long rush. We're getting a long rush. So, Idis balance. Gonna miss his shot. Trying to get out. Double scope in. Will manage to find Fostar. Massive frag. Of course, the damage in. It's not really confirmed onto JO, nor is he all that bothered with the AWP. So, I think certainly, though, as I've said, worth noting that drop-down cross players will have cracked it by now. It's been out long enough. So, you can see he's able to dish out the damage. Just means that he's here a bit later and he can't necessarily answer against Idis balances or that they were up against at long. So there you are. As we talked about when it first came out, you have to dedicate more resources to go for the cross damage. Nonetheless, 5-on-4. Flashes around the corner. Nemiga really not wanting to throw this away, this man advantage. They are holding on to it very tightly.
Yes, indeed. And Nemiga certainly, they know players are out towards long. Box, he was playing off catwalk. He had a quick check of mid just now to make sure nobody's in attendance. And actually, one win, they're going to fake the long cross with one player. That's just Deco from that smoke from Pit. And it's all about this short contact. They can find frags here. Could really rip open this A-side defense.
Oh, Box. Watch your timing. Nade comes in. Molly to follow up. Trying to avoid the bullets that come his way. Done a decent enough job to get one. Idis balance going to hold on the corner here as well. Smoke goes down. They go through it, and that's not the move. Flamey will fall. 4-on-2. Flank coming in. Crunches the bomb. And Deco, now the only one left. Isolated out towards long. They left him posted to catch a player peeking around. Nothing ever comes his way, though. So Nemiga looking very, very good here. And Deco, by all accounts, just going to run the clock down. Yeah, really solid opening rifle round from the CTs.
Yeah, Box as well. Good job. He just blocked catwalk with his smoke and the whole fake from one win to pressure the long side a little bit and try and work up catwalk. Had no success. And as we saw, good reactions from Nemiga. One win, plenty of money in the bank. So clearly the reinvestment is going to be rolling. But as you mentioned, good start for Nemiga. Saving over that double AWP as well for good measure. We'll see how that pans out in this round. Will JO have some more impact?
Early nades. Much slower start into this round. Nice touchdown nade coming in. Yep, that's pretty much perfect. 50 big ones landed. 70 landed onto glowing. So early damage is really solid here from Nemiga. Softening up a couple of players. Going to make life a hell of a lot easier. One win. Yeah, certainly looking down and out in these rifle rounds. You know, it's been some tough starts. See whether they can turn it around with a clean execute, but I don't know. That early damage, you know, if you're a team worth your salt on the CT side of Dust2, you should be able to work with it. More keeps coming as well, turning all these A1Ss that are in play into one-tap machines. So really, really dangerous stuff for one win. It's got to be very clean, this short push.
Nemiga are very spread out on this A-bomb site. You can see Chills up here on the platform actually holding long. Good news for him is there's only one player on the T side trying to come out, so he should be okay. But clearly, Cat Nade's about to come in. Box is in the right place at the right time. He's going to block. Now the sight's hit on the cards. Flamey not committing through, waiting for the flash. Now he comes through, and Box, you're looking the wrong way. He's first to fall. Pressure now on Disbalance to find some kills on the cross.
Yeah, certainly needs to hold, at the very least stay alive, and he goes down easily. Oh, Travis going to find Jo. How's it all falling apart? More and more kills coming in. 2 quick ones for Belachonok, but of course flanked out. It was Travis down towards that B side of things. Deco getting the final frag. And yeah, Chaos. I mean, I said they needed a clean short hit. They get it indeed. Really well timed with those flashbangs. Flamey on the entry. I feel for me that's a bit more suited to his skill set. And it works out perfectly against the odds, you have to say. Deco finds Jo this time around. No tag. It is the frag. And like I say, they have cracked it. We might have to bring the smokes back, Nemiga.
Now we're cooking it. Now we are cooking. Deco, first half on Vertigo, he looked amazing, didn't he, at the start? Still ended up towards the top of the scoreboard at the end. But certainly felt like he went a little bit missing on that T side of Vertigo. But as we mentioned at the top of the show, Orpa's Playground and Deco in this round. No getting past him. Good stuff.
Oh. Flamey with the failed smoke. Could come back, but we'll see. Flash through the doors. Not quite going to be followed up upon. Boxes trapped, though, and surely goes down here eventually. Molly comes in. Easy one for Deco. And they have the pick of the crop. They can go A, they can go B. They can go wherever Deco wants, to be honest. 4K comes in for him. 4 bullets, 4 kills. And the 5th round, of course, for 1 win looks nice and easy. They will not necessarily demolish the bank, but they will stop the buy here from Nemiga into round number 7. Certainly back to their winning ways. I mean, the first rifle round from Nemiga, it looked very, very good. That second one started off well, but couldn't capitalize.
Money as well. Absolutely in the bin for Nemiga, and just the pistols in place. Somehow, Belchonok, he's got all the way up mid. It's only Deco on this kind of half of the map with all the players grouped up in tunnels, so the B bomb site should be an easy take, and Deco still finds the kill on the player in mid. He is so on point right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty big problem, I think, for this Nemiga side of things, that the AWP battle, they can't really answer back against it. Box will be left out in no man's land, of course, gets taken down. Looking good, as you would expect in a round like this. So, fairly comfortable on the 1-win end, as yet to drop a player. And big man Chili is pretty far away from the action. Going to see a bit if he peeks in towards mid. He does indeed, but he also loses his head. So, looking really good. 1-win rifle rounds pulled back, winning them cleanly. You know, good against your half buy there, which we can see teams from time to time stumble in rounds like that. But they are certainly putting their best feet forward in every single round so far since losing that 1 rifle. So, really convincing stuff, and they show no signs of slowing down. It can be very, very dominant.
Tunnels push. Tunnels push. 2 players aggressively find the first frag. Do get traded. And where has this been the rest of the half? Nemiga upping the ante.
Absolutely. And they're able to find another as well. Really well put together, as they had 2 in from the main side of tunnels. So pretty scary stuff if you are 1-win. 4 versus 3. Definitely not out of the question. But Nemiga, they have answered back, and they know they need some rounds to work with here on the CT side. And again, money, 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 as is always the case. They do not have a lot of room for mistakes.
Yeah, the only silver lining was all that information on the players pushing tunnels. So, have taken the space. They do have long control. They have a couple smokes as well to cross. And looking at how they're holding this A bomb site, those smokes will isolate out these AWPs, but we need to see them coming in. None for the moment. Working up close. They're just going to swing on the flashes, and this could be a huge mistake as Idis Balance and Gio chime in. And of course, it's easy to say when we can see, you know, the X-ray in both teams, but they'll very much regret not using those cross smokes.
Yeah, for sure. And it is a bit of a puzzling one as to why you would save them. You know, I guess wanting to get on the site and smoke off short, you are limited, but it does feel that taking that 50-50 on the cross is not the move.
Yeah, I feel like the argument is that you're man down, you need to find a frag, and if you swing out on a flash, you do have a chance to catch somebody out in the open. That's the argument. I just think, yeah, maybe a little bit better safe than sorry. So I respect the idea, but clearly didn't work out that time around, did it?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, that is the argument. Maybe just not a very solid one. But at the same time, someone, as is the nature of the game, bangs a player out, then all of a sudden it's a genius move. So we'll see here. Long hit coming in. Player on the corner. Player tucked in. Belchonok, it's a bit of a difficult one to work with, right? Very hard to get out of. Idis Balance trying to cover him. Does get a frag off the back of the distraction. And works his way into car, out in the open. Difficult for the AK. Travis will get taken down. You know, no support around to help him. Player with the bomb, in the form of Flamey, is out of there. Retrieve the AWP, trying to make this mid/B move work. And, well, Nemiga are in a 4 versus 2 that looks very, very promising once again. Holding crosses once again. And Flamey trying to contact him with the AWP. We'll find the head of the first. Maybe not going to be ready for the second, but it's hard to trade on that AWP, of course. Box, meanwhile, has got the info. finds the bomb. And now it is just Glowing to trade things up and find a couple frags to boot. So not going to be easy. Trapped in, and he does get taken down on the headshot angle. Nemiga back in. Number 3 found. 1 win. They are going to start to worry a little bit here. Still got money, but the rounds are looking good from the CT side.
Yeah, definitely looking a lot better. Double AWP is coming to fruition. Opening picks going their way as well for good measure. And 1win's economy finally has been stifled. Not a great deal of cash in the bank for Deco and Flamey. So if they lose this one, should be the pistols in the next. But Nemiga needs to keep rolling, needs to keep converting. And it looks like Box is trying some mid-aggression. Thinks better of it, though. But there's only one player on the A side of the map. Big risk here from Nemiga.
Certainly does feel that way. I don't know. We'll see. 1win. Picking up the pace a little bit. Great little smoke for Glowing to work with. Flamey as well, finding the second. It's subtle, but it works out beautifully. He will be somewhat trapped, and I think Jo is going to try and track him here. The A1S in the off angle wins the right eye peak, of course. And Jo to drop Glowing. So back into a 3 versus 3. Flamey up close. Catches the AWP, rotating nades, and he'll get the kill as well, but can't make it out. So back into a 2-on-2. Right, very even throughout. 55 seconds remaining. The one thing that they have, of course, the Ts are together. The CTs are not. Moving over towards A via short. About to meet resistance. Oh, and a bit of a fluff up, you've got to say, from Belachonok to not get a single frag there. It's all going to be down to Chili, it will be. Against 2 on half HP. No kit to speak of. And yeah, how do you approach this?
No need to speak of. Half HP, and with Deco, of course, able to post on the lines and get into a good position for the after plant. Is surely going to take a blunder here from 1win, and I believe this is Chili. I think we're being a little bit deceived by the overlay at the moment. He's thinking better of it. Hightail out of there, and for 1win to get those opening picks, 2 fast kills in mid. I think the thing was, they'd killed 2 players in mid, and there was still 2 on B from Nemiga because they were stacking so heavily. It was a really hard round to call from 1win because there's just so many more players than you'd expect on that side of the map.
Yeah, it leaves a few questions. It certainly does. But we move into round number 11. I don't know. What are your opinions at the moment? Obviously, the mid blockage change, you know, it's not gigantic, but it is fairly substantial. Do you still like lean the way of the T side on this map, or is the A1S, you know, just so dominant that it swung things the other way?
I'll answer that in a few moments, as it seems the B hit is about to come in. Jo finds one, but surely he gets traded. How does he get a second in that scenario? That was ridiculous. Smoke for the cross. So bomb site in the hands of Nemiga, but Glowing for player to watch. Gets another, makes it 2 as 1win conspiring to ruin your question with that B hit. But I'll get to it now, I guess. Definitely a CT-sided map now. Definitely a CT-sided map. If not a 9-6, it could even be a 10-5 CT-sided map now. There are so many more options on the CT side, opened up just by denying that vision from top mid. So already 1win are laughing about this T side.
Well, we know how it can be within this kind of region. It might change things up in that second half, but certainly 1win just looking way more comfortable here. I think that is ultimately obvious. So really starting to worry for Nemiga now. You know, you hit the 8-round mark pretty early, and it does speak to an awful lot of control, you know. And as we are having here, I think we've got an Nemiga timeout coming through. They really do need to talk things over. Obviously, the finances are not in a great spot, so that'll be part of it. But also, you know, what are we going to do? How are we going to find a way back in? They can get these isolated rounds every now and then, it feels like, but they have problems stringing them together. And especially on that CT side, it's paramount.
Here we go then. Nades for actually the CT side not looking great. So in that respect, good time to take a pause. discuss between yourselves how we're going to get value out of this utility. We probably can't run our standard long take. We don't really have the nades, so see what they choose to go for. But there's a nice long spawn there for Travis. Bit of an odd flash as he's going to get aggressively out, flashing himself, and it's only Gio on this side of the map. Look at the mid push. Tunnels push as well for good measure. Nemiga are throwing down the gloves here.
I think you can kind of figure it out, though, if you're the one-win side of things, right? They like to go for the mid/tunnels crunch when they are in a pinch, I suppose. And yes, damage comes in, but as you can see, they're set up on the extremities to make sure that no pushes come through. But the patience does pay off for the CT side. They don't get too greedy. They wait for the opportunity to come to them. They're even smoking off drop down to make sure that there's absolutely no opportunity at a trade. 5-on-4. Nemiga again talked about it, touched on it. They have these nice isolated rounds.
That is such a huge frag.
That is massive. Yeah, I mean, it opens up the B bomb site. It's also a very difficult kill to find for Glowing. So this is really, really starting to open up once again for the one-win side.
Look at what this has done to the CT rotates. They were so heavily stacked on A, absolutely certain it was going to be a long hit. Now they've been strung out. IDIS balance has all come all the way on to B to post up. Chill's rotated in as well for good measure and not in great positions. So one win, good frag, but now they need to capitalize, work up on A together with those cross smokes.
Nice find coming in. Glowing going to go down on the other side of things. It starts to give the game away a little bit, but Gio will fall in on the site itself. Cross smokes, they're pretty close to it as well, right? So they can work their way into the bomb site. Flamey with a wacky throw. They're set up and ready to deny the bomb plant away. It's a bit awkward. Flamey through the smoke will find the bottom of the totem pole. Meanwhile, Chili trying to trade things out. It looked very good there on the timing, but couldn't keep it together. Don't quite know what happened. You know, the panic that comes in when you go for one of those. Flamey with the timing, however, will find the collat. One win, it seems, can do no wrong. Flamey really opening up here on Dust2.
Oh, that was just the cherry on top, wasn't it? Collateral from Flamey, and yeah, that was real carnage in that retake, and I believe Scriv in the middle of it. I think there was a team flash as well as they're trying to go through the smoke, so Nemiga potentially dropping the bomb, but one winner streaking so far away with this T side. This could be out of reach already for Nemiga. They have to stabilize thick and fast.
Yeah, it's really, really looking scary, isn't it? You know, we always say, no matter the map, no matter the meta, no matter the shape of the game, 5 needs to happen. 4 you can maybe get away with. At the moment, they're only on 3. Nice find from IDIS balance. Does get his hands onto an AK. Now, what is the plan? He has a look. Sees there's no one around. No one in towards middle. Probably going to be A, fellas. Might as well dedicate to it. Going to try and pull off the flank towards long. The timing is not too bad here. Jo with the info in towards CT. Bit of a hard angle to get away from, though, right? So, certainly an unexpected one. Trying to tap some heads. He does get one, but he doesn't find a frag. Now they have a decision to make. Do we take the AK into the next round, or do we go for it? Looks like they're going to try and buy themselves some space, but got some scary members ready and waiting. They are indeed savvy to the fact that the long push is probably going to happen. And so, Nemiga not moving. They will just hold, try and get some exits here.
Seems like the prudent move. At least definitely on the AK front. Keeping that one going, that would be valuable. Moving forwards is actually one win. One player saving in towards CT. This lot are coming over towards long, so opportunity to take more guns away from the T side. It's balanced, still on the off angle. Flash. Goes right over him. Not going to get a lot done. So, good economic damage. I guess the concern is, though, so late in the half, does it matter so much? It's all about rounds from here.
This is very true. This is very, very true. So, next 2 have got to come in. And then they will have their work cut out on that T side of things. And you have to say, one win at the moment. The individual's looking very, very good. We've not even seen the best of Deco. He's good for a tag every now and then, though, as he gets another onto Jo with this double AWP setup. While he comes in, we'll split them apart. Flash through the smoke is ineffective. Fostar ready and waiting for it. Box will go down easily. So a 5-on-4 that looks very good. Low HP Jo, you know, things looking really nice. And we do, again, have the tunnels push, but one win, happy to give them the control and just make sure that the flank doesn't quite come in. Off angle here for Belachonok, and he will manage to get himself a double. Pretty large indeed. But they've lost another player in the meantime. So it's back to a 3 versus 3 with low HP bars still in play.
Jo Orp posted up on that T-spawn position and clearly glowing, jumping around. No idea a player could be in aggressively, and Joe's playing it perfectly. Finds one frag, falls off, has the information. Guess the only concern is here for Nemiga. 15 HP on Belchonic, 30 on Jo. They could fall thick and fast if they connect with the AKs, so not out of the woods yet, but looking good for Nemiga.
Yeah, the walk through the smoke as well. Going to give them an absolute gift. That's the bomb. So it's just Deco. Got to see what the big man is made of. As we said, a little quieter here, but not necessarily unsuccessful. Onto the A1S. Jo playing it patiently. Here's him jumping around. Takes the timing peak, and there are not many players that are going to win that fight in the world. 10-4. One more, and we'll be a bit convinced. And, you know, they have brought the economy down to perhaps its lowest point within this half, it feels like, other than that very first round. So, one win, yes, we'll have a bye, but there are sacrifices that have to be made.
Yeah, for sure. And certainly a bomb plant in the previous would have worked wonders, wouldn't it? In terms of getting some more utility onto this T side and maybe getting Travis there up and onto a rifle. Deco. Oh, my lord. Post up on the angle. Chill there. Wrong place, wrong time. He goes down as Deco. Maybe a little bit quiet in the middle of the half, but he still knows his angles, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those where maybe his kills are not massive, but his impact has been felt. When they need him to do something, you know, like a kill in this round, or like the alley peak that he's been going for so often, he generally finds success. So it's a bit weird, because he's not fragging out of his mind, but they don't necessarily need him to. We'll see onto that CT side. I think that's where things might look a bit more impressive. Waiting for the push to come in. Really solid setup here. Double for Box. Able to make it away, though, and they might just have let that one slip. It was a really cool setup, but they couldn't quite capitalize. However, Jo, he got them on a platter in the previous round. Into this round, he gives one on a platter. So, you know, he's a nice guy. Meanwhile, Box trying to hold behind the smoke. The molly smoke, of all things, will allow him to find a frag. Gets a nade in there, leaving Deco on 5 HP. We've got Idis Balance slowly but surely making his way up short. And the bomb goes down. 2 versus 2. Very, very strange game state, this feels like. And hard to call. I mean, low HP bars dotted about 49 combined for one win. But the AWP in play, supposedly leading the charge. They're going to try and boost up and go for the run boost across here. He does take out Flamey. It's all onto Deco. 5 HP to work with. Fox can't make it around fast enough. He's onto the AWP himself. Where's he going? What's he doing? He's run out of ammo. He tries to take him down with the AWP. He's going to try it again, but the Deagle of Deco will finish it off. What was that 1v1? So wild on the retake, but 11-4 in favor of one win.
We got there in the end, and it certainly, for me, felt like Box was getting away with murder in that round. They just walk back in long. It felt like the T side were perfectly set up, didn't it? Finds 2 frags, almost severs the head off the third, and then on the cross finds another, but it wasn't enough. As we saw, Deco bails them out in the end. So a strong T side, not what we saw over on Vertigo, so they'll be happy with that. And as I mentioned earlier on, definitely a CT-sided map. And when you've got a player like Deco here now, there are so many options for CT AWPers. If he gets rolling, this is map over.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about him being a little bit quiet, but as Nemiga started to come back into it towards the tail end of that first half, they clearly gave him a bit more room, maybe being a bit more vocal, and all of a sudden he goes from like 9-5 to 13-6 in 3 rounds, maybe even 2. So, as we've kind of been touching on, his impact absolutely there. They didn't need him to take over those earlier rounds, but in the end they did, and he did. So we'll see here. First player to be tested. Has to be a bit careful. There's a lot of numbers. You don't know if there's the P250s in play, so he's not giving them too much. And they will take that. Cross smokes come in. Flash to work with it. Going to be the bloodbath on the A bomb site. Counter flash is also in from the CT side. And they are committing. Deco will find the first head. Travis falls. Deco for another, though. Maybe got to keep on going here, to be honest. He's trying to buy some space for his teammates. Nice move up from Jo, but instantly traded. Low HP for Chili. Trying to get the reload off. Somehow able to survive the one to his side. And it is now all on Box. He was this late flank coming in. His boys have not quite delivered. He will dish out the damage onto Fostar, but he's got 2 to find. And Deco is one of them. Looking really good right now. Is the big man. Box takes it back to a bit of a neutral. Trying to go for the jump shot. There's the double peak. Really well played from OneWin. And it looks like, indeed, they are picking up where they left off.
Deco, man of the hour. 4 frags there. Does need the AWP to find the kills. And honestly, how he stayed alive there on the bomb site for so long is beyond me with players from either direction. But clearly, taps and heads did some work. Jiggled around. And pays dividends. OneWin up to 12. Full eco from Nemiga, so extremely likely to be 13. Hard to say, but it seems third map is on the way soon enough, unless Nemiga can pull off a amazing comeback towards the end here.
Stranger things have happened. But not today. So we'll see. It would be absolutely mental. Tunnels push. We recognize this one. Chili good for 1, but he's traded out instantly. That's an AK. There's 1-for-1 trade's going to work for the T side, I suppose. And, you know, he's just going for a bit of something. You see those 2 players coming in from lower tunnels. It does indeed speak to a slightly weaker, long area. That's exactly where they've gone, you know. So, well read from Nemiga. Taking a lot of early damage, though. So 4 versus 4 looks good for OneWin. And, of course, the utility is the sore thumb that sticks out here. So still looking good for the CT side. They're set up and ready for a crossplay. Nemiga, meanwhile, waiting for someone to overstep. We'll see.
Yeah, issue here for Nemiga is there's only 1 smoke on these players towards long at the moment. That's why Box here is having to work his way back. They need that second smoke to cross, and every second that passes is another chance for OneWin to get information. Glowing's just peeked mid. He's seen nothing. And surely, as soon as any pressure comes on long, Travis will also flank. But smokes are raining in. And for the moment, there aren't too many players on this bomb site. Good chance for Nemiga.
I think the bomb plant at the very least. And then, you know, OneWin's retakes are going to be tested pretty early here. Nice utility. Keeps them at bay. It certainly is curious, you know, they're buying time. They've got a player in towards short as well. But they are very weary of something a bit weird when, in actual fact, it's quite simple. There comes the frags, though, as Nemiga will indeed show a bit too much. They can't get round to the site safely, which surprises me. And not a single kill on the site take is somewhat crazy and not a good sign, to be honest. I thought that, you know, the way that OneWin was set up, it wouldn't be too difficult to flash in and body block and get that bomb in there. However, it was leading the way. So Nemiga looking worse for wear, and we're only a couple rounds into this T side. Yeah,
for sure. And you saw there the C side were dropping smokes by Gandalf, and it looked to dissuade Nemiga so much from accelerating behind. It is Glowing. Had a good spawn. He's in aggressively in the corner, and he gets punished. Box decapitates Glowing, so entry frag should be able to recover that rifle. Nemiga given an opportunity here.
Might be quickly snatched away, though, as Flamey will find a kill through the smoke. We've also had some pretty big damage dished out once again from OneWin. They will be able to work things into the hand of a healthy player. Flash comes in. However, they've not checked their angles cleanly. Fostar is only good for 1, but he's got the support in as well. Looking good. 3 versus 2. Flash over the top gets a bit more information. Ooh. A giddy push in from Deco, though. They are low. They get the bomb in isolation. That's a decent result. However, they need the rounds. So now this becomes a round that has a bit more pressure on that you need to convert. Bit more HP for Box, and he might have found that frag, but he doesn't. Disbalance, meanwhile, will be the last one left. Trying to get in behind. Not going to happen. Down he goes. And there is map point. OneWin where was this? I wasn't expecting it to be super one-sided, but, you know, they really did let things slip on Vertigo, it felt like, and such a poor second half from them. That usual aggression and confidence just wasn't really in play. Certainly see why, I suppose, they have moved away from Vertigo in the recent weeks, the recent months. You said in the past they like playing it, but clearly something has gone awry in the early stages. Glowing is going to open up for a quick double. Uh-oh, this is not looking good. Things falling apart at the seams for Nemiga.
Not looking great, is it? And certainly reflecting on Vertigo, it feels like the big difference is one win on both sides, actually. They're playing with so much more pace, aren't they? They're getting aggressive. Deco is moving in and out. They're not scared to take duels. And this round alone, the AWPs are just posting up, and Nemiga has no answer. One remaining. One win set for a smackdown here on Dust2. We're going to the third. Who knows how that's going to play out, but we'll join you guys after a quick break for the third and final map of the series.
We laugh and we stop, we try not to talk about. Feel your smile keep on hitting.